The very best vegetable for your heart. Everybody wants to have a strong heart and good cardiac health. And we are going to go over the best vegetable for your heart. We're each going to pick one. And for anybody who enjoys our discussions, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Hit that subscribe button down below. Who else to get us started here? America's best cardiologist, Dr. Peter. What is the vegetable? Beets. So beets is a vegetable that essentially feeds the same pathway as nitroglycerin, which is a chest pain tablet that everyone gets in an ambulance ride to the hospital with chest pain. And so what happens is beets is just full of nitrates. And these nitrates, not to be confused with the nitrates that we see as preservatives in smoked meats, which are just awful in general. These are naturally occurring nitrates in beets that get turned into nitric oxide. And not nitric oxide is so essential in vascular health. And what it does is it helps dilate the blood vessels because they stiffen up over age, over time. And the endothelium, which is a lining of your blood vessels, is very dependent on nitric oxide. So nitric oxide can help lower blood pressure. It dilates blood vessels. It relaxes the blood vessels as well. And it really is found in about a cup of beets a day. Now, we know that just more isn't always a better. And I think the one thing with beets that people want to be cognizant of, so you don't go running to your doctor if you take beets, is that it can turn your urine red or sometimes your stool red. So that's something to think about. But it is such a powerful source of nitric oxide. Interesting. Yeah, and it's quite delicious as well, I will admit. I don't eat that many beetroots. But I know, I mean, and this is great. We're learning from each other. I tend to eat them more. I would say rarely getting them at home. It's when I go out to restaurants and I'll have it in a salad and they'll mix it with goat's cheese and walnuts, and it's like really delicious that way. But I know it's best to always have it at home. How do you prefer to eat it? What's the recommended way? Do you have to boil it often or do something with it? I mean, honestly, my favorite way is roasting it, and I think a lot of people will have like beet juice or beets in a blender, but remember that kind of strips the natural fiber from it. So that's important because the carbs from it or the sugars from it, it's really important when there's a source of fiber as well. But I think roasting it is better and probably the best way. Some people will have pickled beets as well. Those are probably the two probably more tastier ways of having it and probably the ways you find it in a salad. Yeah, that's my resolution to eat more beets then. Are you a fan of beets? Let us know down below. All right, my turn now. I'm not a heart doctor, but I see if a fair number of cardiac patients, I would go for broccoli. And this is personal to me as well because I have significantly ramped up intake of broccoli probably over the last 3 or 4 years. I didn't grow up eating a lot of broccoli. We used to have a lot of other good foods, vegetables, but not broccoli. But the more I learn about broccoli and the more research I've seen, the more benefits I see for heart health. And I think it is fantastic. They're very tasty. We'll talk in a second about how to cook them. But I've seen research on the enormous antioxidant capacity of blueberries. So antioxidants are these compounds which work against the free radicals produced from all these thousands of chemical reactions in your body. And the free radicals are byproducts, waste products basically, and they are implicated in cellular damage, degenerative processes, inflammation, and aging. So you want to maximize the amount of antioxidants, your diet. So what's in broccoli then? Well, sulforaphane, which is a very strong antioxidant, vitamin C. People forget that broccoli is packed with vitamin C, vitamin K as well. And it's also a very good source of fiber. Fiber is extremely important for most people out there, gut lining, microbiome. And I think that I've felt better since I started eating broccoli. And it's also very good because it's quite filling. There are some vegetables and fruits that are not as filling, but broccoli will fill you up. And what we do is we roast it in the oven. Sometimes we put some like seasonings, spices on it as well, but I think broccoli is delicious. I agree. I think roasting it is great, especially with a good quality of oil rich in polyphenols. I mean, that combination is just magic. Blanching it or putting it in the hot water just really quickly, then cold water just kind of keeps it crispness to it, but it is very filling in a sense, and it's very low in calories per density. And I think that's why it's also very good too, because it's just not full of sugars. Yeah. And the vitamin K level is very rich in vitamin K. And that's why people who are on warfarin or Coumadin as a medication, which knocks out vitamin K, have to be a little bit careful with it because it can reverse the levels of that medication, but it is the antioxidant properties of it. And we know that these antioxidants just produces free radicals, which is circulate around your body and damage the blood vessels. And so having broccoli, also the beets, a beet and broccoli salad is actually really good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, combination, right? Patent that? I think so. Yeah, I think so. You ever heard of a thought of that before? I'm sure somebody has. I think exactly. Yeah, a blanching it together, yeah. Beets is actually really good, but it is a really rich source, but it's also a really rich source of magnesium, and U2, which actually is really good. And I'm a big proponent of magnesium. It's such a powerful mineral, and I find it check and have. And so magnesium is often found and probably underappreciated in broccoli as well. Yeah. And can you eat raw broccoli? I had it, sometimes I find it quite difficult to eat. I find I have to cook broccoli. I know it will lose some of its potency. It will still be good, but yeah, I think you could, I think probably the key here is not to strip the natural fiber from it. So again, if you overprocess a broccoli, you're probably going to remove some of the fiber. So eating it raw, like some people just like, I just don't love it that way, but is it probably better for you raw? Probably. And some will argue, though, that plants have a natural defense mechanism that when you do cook some vegetables, you break it down and able to get some more of the nutrients. So that's something to think about as well. So I know in Japan we're big on eating raw vegetables in the United States, but I believe places like Japan actually tend to cook more than the vegetables because of that, because vegetables do have these natural defense mechanisms, and by breaking them down by cooking, you may be able to get access to more nutrients. Exactly. And interestingly, you mentioned Japan, Asian country. I know there are a fair number of people who get broccoli in fried tempura, not necessarily from Japanese food, but from Chinese food or other delicacies in that area. Then if you fried something in tempura batter, it's not going to be good. And that's an example how you can make a good food. But if you do that, let me get your views on something else. So this happened to me recently. I recently got in trouble because when we get broccoli, it's usually the frozen organic type that I buy. And I bought by accident the broccoli. I bought like the stalk of it instead of the florets. There's different ones you can buy. I think I said that right. Yeah, it's got a name when you can either buy like the florets or you can buy, well, the stalk. The stalk is where the tree cut off. Exactly. Yeah. But to me, it makes sense that the floret would contain more nutrients but the stalk is probably rich in fiber. Okay. But the probably nutrients, I would say, is probably in the florets. Yeah. I think people always want to remove the stalk when you're buying it because it takes away the weight, and you probably get more florets for cheaper per pound. Yeah, never thought of that. Yeah, that's possible, but yeah, let us know how you like your broccoli or indeed beets. But yeah, in our opinion, those are two of the best vegetables out there for your heart. You can't go wrong with most vegetables and fruits out there. Fruits, you have to be a little bit careful if sugar is an issue, but they are just such complete foods. And I grew up with the mantra, which was widespread in the UK, you have to get your 5 portions a day of fruits and vegetables. And it amazes me now, we have some influencers online who target fruits and vegetables and say that they are bad. I mean, how on earth anybody could say they are bad when we are surrounded by processed foods and complete garbage? Let us know your thoughts as well. We appreciate you watching. As always, we are cheering you on your health journeys. We know how you really want to do the best, and it's tough every day. Of course, you have to make the right decisions consistently. All about consistency, as Dr. Peter often says. Take care, everyone. Also, check in the links down below for our natural health and well-being store, which we're very excited to be expanding. All products based on compounds that we strongly believe in and consume ourselves. All uniquely formulated. ohiwellness.com if you're in the USA, North America. ohiwellness.co if you're in the UK, Europe. We will speak again very soon.